Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the CWR Clash of Randall's Podcast with your host JKD and
Hey, the DOCLOVE, ready to give you more. Today, we want to go ahead and talk about Raw and SmackDown. But before we do, why don't you go ahead and subscribe? If you want to keep on getting this program, hit those likes. Hey, and if you have anything to say about this program, any question to ask, go ahead and give us some comments or hit us up on at Gmail at CWR at gmail.com.
also share the video too.
There
Whatever
you
you want.
go.
So
Please do.
let's go ahead and get started. Monday Night Raw. Now, Monday Night Raw's continuation from last week, as the big part of the main event was to have the triple threat matchup. Number one contender taking on WWE Champion Drew McIntyre. But let's talk about the opening segment with Randy Orton willingly to join Alexa Bliss on their show. Whatever the show's called again, what it's called? Exactly.
You got me.
A moment
A
of bliss.
moment of
It's
bliss.
a moment of
Yeah, a
bliss.
moment of bliss.
But
I forgot.
exactly. That's how much talk show's not as great as it was back in the days. Like the highlight reel, cutting edge, and stuff like that. Like really, like it's not as great. However, we do talk about seeing Randy Orton figure out the Fiend's mind games now, to where now he can get into the Fiend's head by knowing what is the Fiend's source to bring him down, and that is Alexa Bliss herself. And with that, obviously, this lead up to a matchup now from backstage that there will be a matchup against the Fiend and Randy Orton at TLC.
Oh
Uh,
man, and I think this is gonna be a really good matchup. And they gotta let Bray get his win back from a few years back. 'Cause they killed Bray and his momentum.
especially for a short world.
I know he had no business losing that title, man.
However, let's go ahead and talk about the next matchup as we get to see Elias taking on the charismatic Enigma Jeff Hardy for in a third ever Symphony of Destruction matchup. This match was this is pretty brutal actually. The match was so brutal they added a 24/7 segment into the matchup. Obviously, with what was it, Grandmaster Lee getting attacked by
Yeah,
Elias, and all of a sudden Drew Gulak got attacked by Jeff Hardy, and then all of a sudden they going back and forth until Jeff Hardy ended it with a swanton bomb off on top of the ring post.
yeah. He almost was the knocked out Enigma. He dang near screwed himself up bad.
And pretty much what he's talking about is the fact that he bumped his back of his head on the steel steps, which made people feel concerned about him. So we wish Jeff, hopefully he's okay.
Yeah,
Actually,
he's okay, but he doesn't need to be taking those bumps like that. He didn't reach the age or
like
reach the point where he don't have to do those type of
if
things.
you just watch a compilation of all of Jeff Hardy's stunts, whether it was in WWE, TNA ring, I don't know all this stuff, like you'd be wondering like when is this man ever gonna retire from this stuff, man? Like for real. But let's go ahead and move on to the one and only. Oh man, or the none absent Ricochet taking
Man,
on the the slapping boy of Retribution, Slapjack.
man.
Now,
You know your career over with, man, when this happens.
there's nothing to say about this except for the fact Slapjack just won.
I mean,
There was nothing
like,
to say about this except Slapjack just won because of Ali. There's,
man,
I mean, it's not gonna lead up to anywhere unless you're gonna have Ricochet join Retribution. Then it would go on Ricochet's part, but at the same time, it really wouldn't go nowhere. So,
I'd rather have Ricochet join because this is and
I,
his name will fit right in with the rest of their names anyway.
but believe it or not, he'll have the best name out of the whole crew.
Yeah, he
So,
would have the best
so
name.
let's talk about Miz TV with guest star the Celtic Warrior, Sheamus. With no surprise, obviously Morrison and Miz with their brilliant minds, and I use that in quotes, and with sarcasm, that they're trying to get Sheamus to turn on his best friend, Drew McIntyre, by claiming that his career was a joke, that he hasn't been WWE champion for 5 years. And can I just say, in Sheamus' defense, at least he's been world champion more than you can be, Miz.
Right.
So he's been a 4-time world champion.
And
As
Morrison, I wouldn't be saying nothing because you a do boy right now.
I mean, either way, this all ended with Sheamus getting beat down with no help with McIntyre, which led
and
backstage
and that's
saying,
what I didn't get. But go ahead.
which led to backstage saying that McIntyre saw it, that he just saw that fiery Irish in him, which is why he's called Fireface, and they're ready to, you know, what, kicking heads and drinking kegs or whatever, drinking kegs, kicking heads or whatever they say, man. For that main event tag team matchup between McIntyre and Sheamus taking on Miz and Morrison. As you were saying,
That didn't make sense. If you saw it, why didn't you come out and help him?
mm. That's I don't know.
That's ridiculous.
Let's talk about another tag team matchup before. Let's talk about Raw Women's Champion Asuka taking on Soul Survivor Lana, taking on the Women's Tag Team Champions Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. Now this matchup, obviously this matchup led up to the point to where obviously Lana once again, well not once again, but they team got the win. To where this could be at some point this could lead up to a Women's Tag Team title match now. I mean think about it, Asuka got to win. What was it? Asuka got to win over Baszler, and now Lana got a roll up over Shayna Baszler. This I'm sorry, man. Look,
Yeah,
if I'm an MMA fighter, man, and I was like the oldest and the longest NXT Women's Champion, there's no way for the fall for like Lana, bro. No offense, no offense to
no.
Lana, but
Matter of fact, they shouldn't even have Oscar and Lana winning the match anyway. It should be an uphill struggle. Maybe one match or maybe an individual match with Lana getting beat down or whatever like that by one or two of them, and then go into the tables match at the pay per view.
yeah,
And I haven't heard about this match being for the tag titles. Is it for the tag titles?
it was for tag title. But speaking of tag title, let's go ahead and move on to the Raw Tag Team Championship picture as we see Cedric Alexander of the Hurt Business taking on Xavier Woods of the New Day. And man, Cedric Alexander was on fire with his promo. So he's not showing Benjamin, man. He's not gonna take a loss for the Hurt Business. He's gonna beat he's gonna beat Xavier Woods 1-on-1 straight up. And then man, these two went off, man.
Yeah, it was a
Going
very good match. I think this might have been the match of the night. Very good match between the two. It showcased all of their it just showcased all their abilities. They are they're very good in the ring, both
but
of them.
but in the end, Cedric Alexander hit the lumbar check on Xavier Woods for the win. Which the story of this whole matchup was the fact that Alexander left the Hurt Business, even though MVP had wanted to a ring in celebration, but I guess Alexander had other plans, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm trying to say, man, it's too early to start trying to break them up or whatever like that. It looks like one of those Brian Pillman thing where they had Brian Pillman part of the Four Horsemen and he thought he was too big for his britches, and they ended up getting him.
Hmm.
So
But next, let's talk about this triple threat match. Finally, Keith Lee, Riddle, AJ Styles. Now this, well, I said call is the match of the night. Really, this was surprisingly. Well, it wasn't surprisingly.
and the AJ Styles almost and Riddle skits in the back are pretty good. I
But
just like it like almost is like real cool with Riddle.
yeah, the triple threat match to me was the match of the night. I think with Lee, Riddle, and Styles, like it shows all the showcase. Like it shows that Keith Lee's strength and his agility a little bit. Styles showing his agility and speed, quickness along with Riddle.
Yeah, and his ring generalship.
Yeah, and so I like the fact that and they put a lot of Riddle saying that Keith Lee's a hard man to beat. Obviously, it took a whole bunch of Final Flash to take down Keith Lee, but in the end, it was AJ Styles getting the phenomenal four on Riddle and getting the 1-2-3, which leading him taking on Drew McIntyre TLC. However, afterwards, it was to the point to where Miz and Morrison were trying to go through this a whole elaborate plan with AJ Styles to help him, you know, cash in, which Styles straight up just said, let's do it. Let's do it, man. I'm gonna help you win it because he thinks it's gonna be easy to beat the Miz,
Right,
unlike it is
right.
McIntyre.
Now, here's the thing I don't get, and we'll get into the other thing. Hey, you notice they changed the pronunciation of the Alma's name. Okay, at first they were saying Almas, now they're saying almost.
They just messed that up.
I'm
That's
just saying they've been doing it for the last 2 weeks.
if you know African culture, man, you it's not exactly what you think it's spelled. So, not all names not spelled, not sound
I'm
the way
just
you thought.
saying the way they doing it. But anyway, that's a little pet peeve. Let's get into the next thing. You know, you had Reckoning stepping up and defending Mustafa Ali. Um, because she slapped her earlier in the program, slapped him earlier in the program.
Hold on. Reckoning slap Mustafa Ali.
No, Dana Brooks slapped. But get out of here.
That's what.
Dana
That's
Brooks.
literally okay. So if you didn't watch, obviously, then the Ricochet and Slapjack match, you know, Ali distracting Ricochet. It was at one point where Dana Brooke pulled Mustafa Ali and then slapped him. We're saying, "Where's Reckoning at?" You know, she jumped over behind. So what's up? Now she got a matchup against Reckoning, which led to a actually a hard hitting matchup, a hard hitting quick matchup, sloppy a little bit too. But in the end, you know, obviously Dana Brooke got the win, as I know he's most likely gonna point it out, which I'm not gonna point it out about what happened to Reckoning in the matchup. Except the
Yeah,
fact that Mustafa Ali was saying that there's no such thing as failure and retribution, considering that's all they've been doing over the
right,
last month.
right. But early in the match, which is dumb. Like, all right, failure. You guys been failing the whole time. But yeah, her mask fell off early in the match, and actually, from what I've heard from behind the scenes, actually, Reckoning was supposed to win the match. And when her mask fell off, the officials in the back got real upset with her and told them to change the outcome and plus end the match faster because the match was actually supposed to be longer also. So that's what happened with that.
I think, yeah. Let's go and talk about the main event matchup with The Miz and Morrison taking on Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. This was a hard hitting bout. Obviously, it was for the first time we get to see Sheamus and McIntyre teaming up, at least for a while, taking on Miz and Morrison, the very sad team of whatever century. It's not the 21st century. It's not shoot, as far as they're going right now. But obviously this matchup was with McIntyre Sheamus getting most of the advantage. However, with AJ Styles being part of commentary, this gave Miz and Morrison the advantage, getting the win. However, it led to the point to where they beat down Sheamus, putting him over the guardrail or barricade, which all of them led to beating up Drew McIntyre. Which Styles was trying to help the man, help the Miz out, which I don't know why Miz was sitting complaining for something like he's gonna buy his own time, but instead he failed to cash in once again when he had he could have cashed in, but they said he wanted to make stupid faces and argue and stuff like that and waste
Right.
time. So
It was just stupid. You know, he had a great opportunity because he was hit with phenomenal forearm. You had Starship Pain, and then you hit him with the skull crushing finale. That's all it took. But like I said, he was in a big argument with AJ about cashing it in. He didn't want to cash it in.
hmm,
But the thing I didn't like also was I understand Drew. He had took him a long time, but Drew getting back up like nothing ever happened to him. You know, they're making him seem more like a Terminator too much.
that's what he's called.
Yeah, but he should. Sheamus should have came in and made the save for him.
Okay, damn. Well,
Cause you made
okay.
all these three finishers look weak when you did that.
He didn't. Styles didn't even hit him with anything. I'm pretty sure.
I'm just saying, it just made all three finishers look weak.
Then Morrison missed the Starship Pain like he always do. So so like I don't see what the big deal is because he's called the Scottish Terminator. But that's it for Monday Night Raw. As we're gonna move on to Friday Night SmackDown, last night's episode of SmackDown. We started out the show with Kevin Owens getting what he wants by having a TLC matchup against the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns. However, we all know at the main event it will be Owens and Otis taking on Roman Reigns and Jey Uso.
Right, because Jay Uso took the challenge
Actually,
for the singles match.
yeah, but that didn't happen because they turned into a handicap match. But but we'll talk about that more later as we talk about the women's division with Natalia, the boat, best of all time, taking on the captain, longest reigning SmackDown Women's Champion, the longest reigning Women's Champion consecutive, combined at least.
Hmm.
Bailey with
Now,
Bianca
really tell
Belair.
you the truth, Bianca Belair, I'm gonna tell you, I usually like her style. But those sunglasses this time, she screwed that one up.
That
That's a fashion foul.
that's not the purpose of the situation. However, Natalia came in over the victory, showing that she's the boat, that she is still in the running for a SmackDown Women's Championship shot. However, speaking of the SmackDown Women's division still going,
Oh Lord, don't even say it.
we're gonna talk about
Please don't.
the untouchable Carmelo and
Ugh.
Sasha Banks having a war of words, which I think was actually pretty good. Carmelo had Mike skill has improved a lot,
They have for real. But
and I have so much belief in this match. I think this match is gonna be coming out. I think this is gonna have a very swimmingly well outcome to it, maybe.
it might be the sleeper of the night. But to me, it's just I can't get into this feud, man. I can't take Carmella serious. Like I said, they brought her back, put her at the top too fast.
It wouldn't matter to me because like who was gonna challenge Sasha Banks anyway?
But they got several women that could challenge Sasha Banks. You can go with the Natalia.
Nope,
If you're going with Carmella, you might well go with Natalia.
nope.
You know, you
Natalia just got on the brain.
you got Carmella just came back.
Okay, but technically being on a new brand then coming back, that's no. Coming back makes sense, but because she been on SmackDown brand for like 2 years, and then with leaving then with a month of hiatus, like she was still part of the brand either way.
You know,
Natalia just joined the brand, so
Bianca Belair wouldn't be
just joined the
bad,
brand,
but they trying to take it slow with them.
just joined the brand. So
Hmm
who else exactly? So
Then you got
Carmelo,
then hold on. Then you got Bailey, but of course they're probably saving that for
that's no
WrestleMania.
purpose of giving her another match. So and who else?
They gave Sasha I don't know how many matches.
They gave Sasha so many matches, huh? Okay, be more specific when you say Sasha got so many matches.
I'm talking about for a championship
Okay,
this year.
so women's tag team titles they won them just like that. Raw Women's Championship she got screwed. Well, no, she won the first time match she won because technically Bailey did have the referee shirt on, and anybody who has a referee shirt on do have the official, so she did get the win.
Oh man,
Then she won shit by countout. That was Oscar's fault, which you even said yourself.
it was.
So actually, it's not the fact that she got something to try to the title; it's just the fact she defended her title so much technically. And then if you're talking about the SmackDown tag team titles, like, and then the women's tag team title, that's an automatic rematch anyway. Even though the authority claimed that there's no
There's no
such thing.
automatic rematches. Yeah,
But guess what? That was 2 years. That rule broken 2 years ago when Rollins got his rematch for the Intercontinental title. Uh, so I mean, really, Sasha really didn't get a minute shot. She just defended the title so much. She's been so many title matches for defending it. But let's go and take a moment before we get to the next thing. Let's go and take a moment to remember a great wrestler that has passed away this week. As we talk about Mr. Pat Patterson, the first ever
man.
Intercontinental Champion. Now, obviously, I don't know Pat Patterson too well, considering like I didn't grow up watching him, but I've seen some moments from him. It's like that, being
Man,
around, teaching other wrestlers, who's coming up.
that was a bad man with Jammer, man.
Yeah, versus
Um, he had to go back. Um, he had his career, in Toronto, but he got his fame started out when he started getting real fame was in California, Los Angeles,
mm,
and he had some of the fights with Classic Fred blasted some of the bloody wars against him. Then you come when he came to WWF, he had a lot of bloody wars with Sergeant Slaughter,
mm,
no boot camp matches and things like that. So I mean, he was no joke. He can go hardcore, street fighting, or he can go technical wrestling with you.
mm,
He can do some of everything.
okay. I will say, even though I never grew up watching him, I will say one of my favorite moments with seeing Pat Patterson was his moments with Gerald Briscoe.
Yeah,
Especially, I enjoyed the whole hardcore title moments. Especially the moment they had the 24/7 moment like earlier in the year. Well, no, like earlier last year. I think one of my favorites was when he and Gerald Briscoe took on the Mean Street Posse, so that was pretty funny.
yeah, that was good.
So that's it. That was it for me. But what
It,
about your favorite moment?
well, even though those are my favorite moments too, even though I knew him from earlier, It was just the fact to see it was so funny to me because I knew him from being serious and he was doing all this funny stuff with the hardcore title and with being one of the Stooges. And but my favorite match by him, and I may be wrong, but my favorite match is definitely Sergeant Slaughter. He versus Sergeant Slaughter.
Mm. And we talk about Patty Patterson because the next bout was a 6-man tag team, tribute match for Pat Patterson. Well, a team of 3 men who can be the next Intercontinental champion. Well, actually, I don't know why they said like they were gonna have 3 people who never won the Intercontinental title and 3 people who won it, but because Big E has won it,
All three of those guys have been Intercontinental champion, right?
or
Except for
all 40 members in this match have been Intercontinental
yeah.
champion. Big E, Sami Zayn, well, Sami Zayn's the current one, Nakamura and Ziggler.
Wait a minute,
Uh,
all these guys have been Intercontinental champion.
yeah, and Mysterio too,
Yeah,
except for Daniel
Mysterio
Bryan.
too. Yeah,
Except for Daniel Bryan. I don't know why they
I
made
thought
it
Daniel Bryan was Intercontinental champion.
Daniel Bryan. Oh yeah, Daniel Bryan has won the Intercontinental. Yeah,
Yeah,
all of them won the Intercontinental
yeah,
champion.
all of them been
I don't know why
Intercontinental champion before.
they made it seem like they 3 of them have won the Intercontinental champion yet. But you had Rey Mysterio Intercontinental champion, Daniel Bryan who actually had the Intercontinental champion as his last title to win, become a Grand Slam champion. Biggie as his first singles championship in WWE, still for Mortal Kombat. Sami Zayn as the current. Nakamura as a two-time, was it two-time? No, one-time Intercontinental champion. And Dolph Ziggler multiple-time Intercontinental champion, taking on each other in a 6-man tag team matchup. I will say this: the biggest part about this match I liked was the Biggie new theme song, bringing back man, the Powder Man, coming in real strong,
Yeah,
man. Oh man, now all you need to see that 5, man. That's what I'm looking forward to see now again.
man, I'm telling you, man.
I think it was kind of hilarious considering the fact. Obviously, there was no surprise when it comes to a tribute match. I mean, let's be honest. There always be the baby faces always win. I mean, guaranteed tribute to the truth, the baby face is gonna win. So I mean,
Yeah, you're right.
Daniel Bryan getting the win over Sami Zayn, which is could lead up to maybe Sami Zayn, Daniel Bryan win have an Intercontinental Championship match at TLC probably.
And then you had the little fracas at the end.
I don't even want to talk about it because well, that's just kind of relevant. But the fact that Ziggler pretty much got beat down by 3 men,
Exactly.
so
You know, you had to send the fans home happy.
yeah. But let's talk about Murphy versus King Corbin too. Now, last week, obviously, the Mysterio family kind of ganged up on King Corbin by by helping Murphy to get the win. Obviously, with the biggest problem with the fact Dominic actually pushed King Corbin's foot off the rope last week, which actually led to Murphy getting the win. But now you see King Corbin coming out and he has 2 men by his side, which I thought they were jabronis at first, but then I realized it is Steve Cutler and Wesley Blake from the for Forgotten Son. I thought they were I thought they were jabronis because they had clean shaves and everything.
And you know what? They were almost forgotten.
Technically, they were forgotten. It's not that they were forgotten; they almost forgot. They were forgotten, which is why they called it. Hence the reason why. However, in the end, Corbin did get the win over Murphy with Blake and Cutler actually beating down the Mysterios, which Corbin came in with the win.
And I hate these kind of feuds here. These are the kind of feuds where you flip flop wins every week. One week Buddy gonna win. You know, another week, you know, Corbin wins and Buddy wins. It's one of those feuds until the pay per view.
Mm.
You know, I don't like those feuds like that. You just trade wins.
Now, earlier we said in the opening part, we did see Kevin Owens did get what he wanted by having a TLC match against the Universal Champion Roman Reigns. However, the main event it was Owens and Otis versus Roman and Jey Uso. Obviously, this matchup led to Jey Uso actually taking on Kevin Owens and Otis at first until Roman Reigns came out and decided to even out the odds, even out the odds to make it back to odds by attacking Otis and demolishing him with the steel steps, leading to be a handicap match between Roman Reigns and Jey Uso against Kevin Owens. However, with that in the closing moments of the matchup, Jey Uso was going to follow him with a win until Roman Reigns told him to get out the ring. Well, at least on the get down, tag me in because he gets the win. He's the main event, which he did. And with that, Kevin Owens came in with the stunner on Jey Uso. But obviously, Owens did defeat Roman Reigns and Jey Uso via disqualification. However, obviously Roman Reigns came in, beating down Kevin Owens with the steel chair, saying that he finally got his attention now. As he also beat down his own cousin Jey Uso by saying that there will be consequences for what he did.
Right. And how many times I have to keep telling you the same thing?
Gotta follow his orders, man. I
But
follow him.
here's the dumb thing about this match. And that's the reason why if I gave a grade to the match, it'll be a C minus
I
or a
think it was
D.
a, I think it was an A because of storytelling, but
Because how you gonna come in the match and you beat Otis down, hitting him several times with the stairs? That should be a disqualification. The bell rung to start the match. So that should be a disqualification. So you're gonna get him just coming in the ring to start whatever he's doing to put him in the choke, and you're gonna call disqualification off of that little bit. Come on, man. That's crazy.
hey, you'll be surprised though. But with that, that is our Raw and SmackDown predictions, and we'll be moving on to our next episode as we talk about NXT and AEW, and check out our predictions for NXT Takeover War Games 4.
Right. And we're gonna continue on with that TLC. We're gonna give our predictions on that at a later date. Hey, so much love to all of y'all out there. Hey, subscribe, like, give us some comments. Hey, peace, love, and joy to everybody in this holiday season. Hey, you feel like you need someone or you feeling down, hey, go talk to someone. Remember, we're never alone. All right. This is Mike, DOCLOVE, and
The JKD.
hey, we showing you love. Hey, we keeping it tight.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the CWR Clash of Randoms podcast with your host, JKD, with my co-host.
Hey, the DOC, the LOVE, Dr. Love, here to give you the results, reviews, and the news of AEW and NXT. And
Absolutely.
today we're asking you to please, please, please subscribe, give us those likes, give us those comments as we break things down this evening going into Winter is Coming.
Which I still believe is a terrible name for a special, but hey,
Maybe the Yeti was coming. You know, like on WCW, the Yeti.
stop. Just let's go and talk about the Dynamite Diamond Battle Royal. Now, obviously, this is where the matchup where a bunch of men from AEW, baby faces and heels, will come and start off outside the ring. Then, when the bell ring, come inside the ring, which lead up to two members of the Battle Royal remains, which lead to a match next week to having fight for the Dynamite Diamond, pretty much. And then in the end, none other than NJL, obviously, who won last year's, along with taking on Orange Cassidy next week for the Dynamite Diamond.
I did like, for the most part, I did like the Battle Royal because it tied into um, other storylines. It's tied up into storylines that could happen in the future. I did not like the ending at all. I did not. Out of all people in the world, they keep trying to push that doggone Orange Cassidy.
Hmm.
Where they could push people like Jungle Boy or something like that.
Hmm.
Something. Or
True.
John Silver. If you're going to push Orange Cassidy, you might well push John Silver then.
His time not come yet. However, let's go and talk about the next matchup for the first time ever. Le Champion, the demo god Chris Jericho taking on SCU's Frankie Kazarian. Now, obviously, to me, this matchup was a huge disappointment considering how much hype they tried to put behind this matchup just last week. They tried to put so much hype behind it, but then it just
Yeah, it was the Daniels Jericho match was a little bit better. Not saying that Kazarian can't work in the ring. Actually, he was doing a good job where he was at. But I think Chris Jericho can't carry his weight in the ring anymore. I think he's gotten a little bit too old, and he can't do that style of wrestling like he used to, which is understandable. Not trying to talk down about him, but he just can't do his part in the ring. Like he's too slow.
yeah. But in the end, it was Jericho who hit the Judas effect on Kazarian. However,
Yeah,
this led to after the matchup where during the battle royal, Sammy Guevara got eliminated by MJL after pushing one of the superstars off. With that, Sammy Guevara got really pissed at MJL, and it led to a whole big brawl. Where it led to, in the end, it was a ultimatum where either the inner circle either get together or work together, or they just disband. Everybody go their separate ways. So that will be something to look forward to next week on AEW Dynamite. However, let's go ahead and talk about Britt Baker, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, taking on the Russian, the short little Russian, Layla Hirsch.
Yeah, the Russian American Layla Hirsch.
Now, this was surprisingly a really good matchup. I mean, Layla Hirsch showcasing her skills, full of some, talking what she learned, her technical skills and everything. With DMD, trying to, fight through the holes and stuff. But in the end, it wasn't until Rebel came in, distractor, which led to Dr. Britt Baker getting the win, with also Thunder Rosa attacking DMD for causing her matchup. And with that, and then also Layla Hirsch also attacked Rebel, which this could maybe lead up to maybe a tag team matchup some point down the line, maybe next week.
And I love Rebel because she's just all over the place. And I like the fact that they made her look like a chicken by coming in the ring and get some cheap shots on Thunder Rosa and gave Layla Hirsch something to do other than her just walking off after getting beat, like you say, helping her out.
Hmm. Well, let's go ahead and talk about our first ever tag team match of the night as we get to see Cody Rhodes and the TNT champion Darby Allin taking on Absolute Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs. Now, this was a good tag team matchup, actually. Now, obviously, this all sparkled after the fact, obviously, Darby Allin still has a thing going against Team Taz as Cody Rhodes called out Taz, which is a low shot, man. You never did it to, a man like that calling out his son, talking about calling the man out like that, man. You don't do that. But instead, Cody Rhodes went that low, and guess what? He paid for it. Right. He truly paid for it by Powerhouse Hobbs and Ricky Starks. In the end, Cody Rhodes and Darby Allin got the win. With Darby Allin,
great combination move at the end too.
Yeah, with Darby Allin getting the win, with Powerhouse Hobbs decided to attack Darby Allin and beat down Cody Rhodes until they were going to hit him with the title belt once again. Until we saw none other,
the man,
the icon, Sting. Obviously, no surprise, Sting was going to do nothing but just come out. And obviously, winter truly came with all the fake snow coming down. Obviously, Sting coming in, staring down every single person, part of the Rhodes dynasty or whatever. Looking at Cody Rhodes, staring down at Darby Allin, staring down at Dustin Rhodes. None other than Arn Anderson, man. Those who hate each other back in the WCW days. But, hey, they probably have an enemy, That probably would be none other than Team Taz.
You know what? That I wasn't really surprised to see him there, but I think it was a good touch for him to come on the program. I think they really needed some of that star power like Sting. So, kudos to them. Kudos.
Yeah, but let's talk about our main event, the AEW World Championship match between Jon Moxley defending his title against none other than the cleaner Kenny Omega. Now, this match started off with obviously Jon Moxley brutalizing Kenny Omega, obviously, and then them two going back and forth. I know there was a lot of archery. There was a lot of V triggers in the matchup with Kenny Omega. As overall, Moxley beat the man down, even to the point to where he actually could have won the match.
I mean, that was the most stupid thing I've ever seen in the middle of a match. You have a man beat, and you're gonna throw two chairs in the ring, and just sit down, and let the other guy sit down. Y'all sit up and punch each other. Volunteer, hey, punch me.
But
that's so stupid.
But technically, during the middle of the matchup, it was we obviously know that Vice President of Impact Wrestling Don Callis was there, as he knew Kenny Omega very well throughout his career. However, it was obviously outside of the ring. It was Moxley hitting some type of butterfly suplex on this, heater right beside the fans. Well, at least at the heel side of the fans. Also leading to Kenny Omega actually being out. Don Callis even actually trying to help the man out, saying that he's hurt. But Moxley didn't even care and decided to bring him to the ring, which led to obviously Don Callis getting pushed by Jon Moxley, which now led to Kenny Omega getting the upper hand and the advantage by hitting Moxley, hard with the microphone, which made him bleed. Which obviously actually led him to hit him with 15 different V triggers on him. But for real, he hit him with 4 V triggers, with obviously him finally get the one-winged angel, with Kenny Omega getting the win and without any celebration, ran off all the way down to where Tony Khan had said something. And members backstage at AEW came down. All of a sudden, you know, I forgot what the guy name, the interviewer name, asked Don Callis, man, what was going on? What was all that about? And all of a sudden, Don Callis claimed that he said, make sure to watch next Tuesday and you'll find out what's going on, which obviously means, and obviously we do know next Tuesday there's no AEW special and all that, but we do know there is a wrestling show on next Tuesday, and that is none other than,
Then
you want to say,
Impact Wrestling.
yes, which means it is official to this day that we will see Kenny Omega, the AEW World Champion, on Impact Wrestling.
So
So
let's tell them the two places you can check it out at. You can go to Access TV, or you can do like we do. If you don't have Access TV, you can check it out
Twitch.
on Twitch.
Obviously, I'm looking forward to see what's happening on Impact Wrestling. As actually speaking of Impact Wrestling, that we will come back with an Impact Wrestling episode. And yes, we have been watching Impact Wrestling for the past few weeks. Actually, we just wanted to jot down some notes and all that stuff because we're really looking forward to talk about not only this AEW thing, but now we're also looking forward to talk about these knockout women's champions and stuff like that. So
Yeah, come really into the women division and Impact Wrestling. I love it. You know, Jordan, Grace, and my girl coming back, Jazz,
and
and then Deanna Perrazzo.
you got Kimberly, then you got Sue Young and all them. But either way, that's AEW. As you also gonna see Impact, a little bit of Impact mixed in. But now let's go ahead and move on to NXT, the final NXT before War Games.
War Games.
Now let's talk about Damian Priest Damian Priest and Leon Ruff taking on Raul Mendoza and Santos Escobar of Legado del Fantasma. Now this obviously was this all set up to where Damian Priest was defending Kurt Stallion. With the fact that obviously Legado del Fantasma has still got to deal with Kurt Stallion because he's the new number one contender for the Cruiserweight Champion. However, pretty much Priest stepped up for Kurt Stallion, which Leon Ruff also did the same thing. However, obviously in the end of the match, it was Priest hit Mendoza with a move as Ruff got the win with some type of frog splash. I don't know what you call that. What you call it? It can't be the tadpole splash because then it's like hornswoggle side, but
Man, I don't know what kind of splash it. I don't know, that dude's so skinny, man.
but either way, we were revealed that at the end of the match that we found that there are two other Ghostface in along with Johnny Gargano. So we're looking forward to see what this might lead up to Johnny Gargano winning his third, North American Championship win probably. However, let's go and talk about Austin Gray taking on Cameron Grimes, which no surprise. Cameron Grimes got the win as obviously Dexter Loomis came in with the strap, which obviously it was told that at TakeOver it will be Dexter Loomis and Cameron Grimes with a strap match, in the strap match pretty much.
Yeah, they didn't made for some reason, I don't know what it is. They got Cameron Grimes playing kind of goofy a little bit. He was a little bit more serious when he came. Um, yeah, I don't mind a little funny edge, but it's a little bit. It's getting to be a little bit too much. And I hope it's a traditional strap match, but I doubt it.
But next up, we got Battle of the Cruisers, where we see Jake Atlas, who's dedicating his match to the late great Pat Patterson, taking on Tony Nese. Which obviously Jake Atlas had a good hard edge to him, to where he got the win over Tony Nese, making a great promo afterwards, saying he's still not done with that cruiserweight champion. He's still coming forward. He's still going to try to be on top of the cruiserweight division. So I'm
Hmm.
looking forward to that. As we talk about the returning grizzled young veterans was set to take on Everrise until Imperium made their return, beating up
Yeah.
Everrise and having a grizzled young veteran taking on Imperium with a little bit of NCUK tag team matchup going on a little bit. As obviously the match ended in a disqualification with Everrise beating down both Marcel Bartel and Fabian Knockner along with Zach Gibson and James Drake, which Everrise said that they're the team.
And
Now they're showing that they're not gonna be some jobber tag team like they were years back and like just like a month ago.
but
They're
I tell
here.
you what, there was a pretty decent match. Pretty decent match. And the tag team division is the standard, man, in WWE. It's the best tag team division in WWE.
Considering that NXT has more tag teams than Raw and SmackDown combined,
Yeah.
which we'll get to that in a later episode at some point.
Now, does it match up with AEW's tag team division? Maybe not. It might have the edge over them a little bit, but they got better workers at tag teams.
Mm. And we will talk about this whole AEW thing and Impact thing in a later episode. Our theories about what could happen. Our future ideas of what they should do. But however, let's talk about the final matchup, which is Team Shotzi member Shotzi Blackheart taking on Team Candice team member Raquel Gonzalez in a War Games advantage, where and pretty much obviously it's the match where you can take on each other in a ladder match. Winner who gets the briefcase, their team gets the advantage by having their another team member comes in first. So this match was overall pretty well. However, it wasn't until the match was going back and forth until Team Candice, which consists of Lorray, Kai, and Tony Storm, to come out and along with Team Shotzi's team, Rhea Ripley and Ember Moon coming out, arguing back and forth after both of them were knocked down outside the ring. With that, Shotzi Blackheart was so close to getting until Raquel Gonzalez pushed her outside the ring, which obviously led to NXT Women's Champion making a return. Io Shirai climbing on top of Raquel Gonzalez's back and hitting the perfect moonsault all over everybody, which is so obvious. With that, Shotzi Blackheart got the win, which leads to Team Shotzi getting the advantage at War Games.
Yeah, and it's very seldom that a good guy team will start first. It's very seldom. So let's War Games. I'm very open to watching it. I think it's gonna be really good.
Now, obviously, you can watch War Games at tomorrow night on the WWE Network. Obviously, don't forget to watch the pre-show also on the network and also on YouTube and any of the WWE platforms. However, let's talk about the first matchup as we talk about Tommaso Ciampa taking on Timothy Thatcher.
Man, Thatcher actually needs a win. He needs a big win.
Mm.
I really would like to see Thatcher win, but I'm gonna go ahead and say Thatcher gets a big win. He's gonna get a sneak win by a roll up or something.
I go with that. I wouldn't say all that, but
he's not gonna win him decisively.
I say it too.
Yeah, because that's gonna mess up Tommaso Ciampa record. Aura if he pins him. Aggressively or anything like that. So it's gonna be something like a quick win, a roll up, or something like that.
Next up, Dexter Lumis versus Cameron Grimes in a strap match.
And this one, Cameron Grimes.
I'm all in for Cameron Grimes.
Yeah, Cameron Grimes finds a way to win.
I'm all in for Cameron Grimes in this matchup, no matter what. As we move on to the next match, being the first and only championship match, Damian Priest, Johnny Gargano, and NXT North American Champion Leon Ruff for that championship. And in a certain way, I believe Johnny Gargano is going to follow through and win it for a third time and be the only guy win it for a third time, actually. I think, no offense to Leon Ruff, I appreciate what he's done these past few weeks, but I think it's time, his 15 minutes of fame is over with. I mean, if I had to choose a secondary winner, it would have to be Leon Ruff, but I'm going Gargano on this one, though.
I'm going to go here with Leon Ruff. I think he overcomes. Something happens, and something gets screwed up, and he's going to overcome.
All these weeks I've been saying Leon Ruff is going to win because, I've always believed him, unlike somebody. But, I've always believed in Leon Ruff. You never believed in that dude. Don't even say nothing. The only thing you believe in...
The only thing I said was the man's too skinny. That's all I said. I never said he couldn't wrestle.
Yeah, because he was so skinny, he didn't believe him. That's why.
I never said he couldn't wrestle. I never said he couldn't do anything. I just said he's too skinny.
What is one thing you like about Leon Ruff?
I like his charisma. I like how he gets. He's fired up, man. Dude be on it in the ring.
You know what that sounds like? That sounds like crap, man. The only thing he likes about Leon Ruff is the fact that he sold that black mask months ago. That's the only thing he likes.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. That was funny. And then the referee's look on his face.
I'm going with Leon Ruff, either Johnny Gargano, but to pick one, I'll let see Gargano go ahead and finally get the title back. As much as I like Leon Ruff, actually. Oh, man. Back to the Timothy Thatcher part. Man. For those who didn't see in the background, obviously Timothy Thatcher, was talking. Saying that he was surprised that his student actually like finally listened to him once. And in the background you saw Malcolm Bivens. And for those who don't know Malcolm Bivens, he was the guy who actually was the manager of the Indian tag team industry. Obviously, he gave tips to and a water bottle towards Timothy Thatcher's student, who was actually a new recruit in WWE in general. Which leads to maybe this could lead to the point he could actually help out Timothy Thatcher.
Yeah,
Get
he
to that
could.
point.
Yeah.
So yeah. Moving on to another matchup, we had Team Shotzi taking on Team Candice. Team Shotzi being Shotzi Blackheart, NEC Women's Champion Io Shirai, Ember Moon, and Rhea Ripley taking on Team Candice, which consists of Candice LeRae, Toni Storm, Dakota Kai, and Raquel Gonzalez. Now, obviously, we do know Team Shotzi will get the advantage. However, who do you think is going to start for both teams, though?
For both teams, a starter, I believe they're going to go ahead and start with. I think Dakota Kai will start. And for the other team, I think Ember Moon will start.
I feel like, in the weirdest way,
I wanted to say Raquel Gonzalez.
I don't want to say Raquel Gonzalez and Rhea Ripley, nor I don't want to say Team Shotzi Blackheart and Candice LeRae. But I think I would like to see Io Shirai and Toni Storm started off.
I would love that, like I said, but I don't know, for some reason, I just feel like it's gonna be Ember Moon, Dakota Kai.
But either way, no matter who starts, the only what matter is who's gonna get the win, though.
Who gets the win?
To me, I would say Team Candice will get the win.
Yeah, Candice team gonna win.
It has been so long to see a heel team actually win War Games ever since Undisputed Era, so I think it would be so great to see Team Candice actually getting the win.
And look for Candice, like you said, Candice LeRae or either Toni Storm picking up the win for the team.
Because Team Candice is a team of people who still got more to go. However, Team Shotzi is like two of the members. Well, for one thing, one of the members was an NXT alumni. As two of the members have done everything in NXT, as one just still keep going. So I think it wouldn't really hurt Shotzi that much. So I say Team Candice will actually lead up to that point. I think Team Candice is gonna get the win.
And look for Ember Moon be the one to take the pin or the loss. I think.
You would be surprised who take. Hey,
maybe even Shotzi.
I think it'll be even more. But I think it'll be even more shocking as a dark horse pick to say that Io Shirai probably take the fall from maybe Candice LeRae, maybe.
That would be setting up a you're right. That could be setting up a championship match.
Yeah, but our second War Games matchup, the Undisputed Era taking on the Kings of NXT, Pat McAfee, Pete Dunne, Oney Lorcan, and Danny Burch, who are the NXT Tag Team Champions. Oh, now.
First, who's coming in the ring first?
As far as who I believe is going to come in the ring first, now, for the past few years for Undisputed Era, we've seen Adam Cole come in first. I think we've seen Adam Cole come in twice. Let alone we've seen Roderick Strong start off last year. So I'm thinking this year it's obviously going to be Kyle O'Reilly starting off. As far as who he's going to start off with, probably going to be Pete Dunne all over again. However, I wouldn't mind for it to start off with Adam Cole and Pat McAfee again. Even though I highly believe Pat McAfee is going to be the last guy to come in.
He's going to be the last. He's not going to stay in there the whole match.
And I also believe that Adam Cole. Well, no, Adam Cole's the last guy last year, so
he's going to be last guy again.
Probably, yeah. I'll probably Colorado be the last guy. We don't know. Because, they started pushing out Colorado as a single star, so. But, no matter, like I said, man, it don't matter who starts. It matters who gets the W. And I believe no matter what, I'm always going to go with my boys, the UE, Undisputed Era, man. I'm always going to go with my boys, the UE.
Yeah, I think Undisputed Area.
The Undisputed Area.
I think Undisputed Era has it. There's no way that they're losing this match. So they might as well.
I mean, they lost this match for like 2 straight years. I mean, you can't do it to them again. So.
They're not going to lose this match this time. And plus, they already had, a heel team win earlier. Which is, I'm thinking about the women's won last year. And I hate to go back. But, That was just ridiculous last year when you had Rhea Ripley whooping all those guys.
Okay. First of all, you gotta watch the match over because I'm not gonna waste time trying to defend it, but you just gotta watch the match over really. But both matches were pretty well done. However, I do believe, like I said, Undisputed Era will get the win, because I believe Team Cancer will also get the win for Takeover. So with that, I think this is actually where we both have agreed to all the matches pretty much.
Yeah.
We pretty much agreed to all the matches. Obviously, once again, Pat McAfee made a great, somewhat of a okay promo. Most of consider him had a. I know CM Punk's president, but he had a good promo. But I just have a difference. But
He's a good promo guy. I guess CM Punk was talking about overall,
but
but the thing is, they don't write. You know, they don't write no script for. They don't write a script for Pat McAfee. They allow him to say what he want to say. If you had other wrestlers who were allowed to say what they wanted to say, then the promos will be better because you don't have to stop and think. Sometimes when you sitting up there and you trying to memorize stuff, you don't have as much emotion. You don't have as much of your you know you don't put your soul into it. So
with that, that was AEW Winter's coming along with NXT results and NXT Takeover War Games predictions. Don't forget to watch NXT Takeover on the Daily Network pre-show on any Daily Network, YouTube, any other WWE platform. I am the JKD along with the
hey, the DOC LOVE.
MCMIKE.
That's right. Telling you to subscribe, hit
Comment,
those likes, comment like my boy said,
share,
share.
and pretty much
Hey, happy holidays to everyone. We love you. So we're gonna bid you a good night.
keep it tight.
All right.